Hey everyone, kids, this is Dr. Callahan for week 20 Friday. How are you guys doing? Go ahead and pause the video and answer the following 3 questions for your warm-up. All right, so if you have not turned in your warm-up log yet, I will recommend that you use this QR code and make sure you submit it because it is worth 300 points, which is pretty significant and impactful towards your grade. Next, what we're going to do is today we're going to be continuing on with a cheat sheet for your common district final. You should have a piece of paper and you should have folded into 4 quarters. So you have 4 in the back and 4 in the front. And so we're going to go ahead and continue on. If you did not complete your topic 1, 2, 3, and 4, I recommend that you go to week 20, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday's video on my YouTube channel and watch that so that way you get that done. But we are done with topics 1, 2, 3, and 4. And actually yesterday we continued on to number 5 and 6 as well. So today we're going to specifically target a little bit more. And actually, you know what? Just kidding. We finished number 5, 6, 7, and 8 from yesterday. Now that I just remember this. And so we finished all 8 topics. And today what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to topics 1 to 8 and give you guys more examples on those ones specifically, so that way we could put in more effort in getting more exposure to the examples. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and get started with this. If you're doing this at home, just make sure you grab a separate piece of paper. That's totally fine as well. All right, so let's go on to, I feel like we needed a little bit more attention to statistics. So on topic number 5, so this is the box that you should be in for topic 5. I want to talk a little bit more about central tendency so that way you guys have this. So the central tendency is the mean, median, mode, and range. And on that box, you're welcome to copy this part down, but you need to write down the mean is the average. So essentially what you do is you add everything together, you divide it by 7, and then this is your average. The median is always a number in the middle. The mode is the most frequent, and the range is going to be the biggest number minus the smallest number. Okay, so an example of something that we will be doing, an example in the question that you might have is like this one. It says Julian wants to save 10 days for 8 days, and then he plans on spending $10 per day for another 8 days. The graph below is a model of the amount of money Julian has each day. On which day will he have $60? Okay, well, so looking at this right here, there's 50, so I'm assuming that that has to be 60. So $60 is going to have to be on day 6 and day 10. So yeah, that is going to be your answer. So if you look at the x-axis, it is the number of days. On the y-axis is the amount of money that he has. And what day is he going to go completely broke by? It's going to look at day 16 because he spent all of his money. What is the most money that Julian will have over this time? It looks like his most is going to be $80. And that is going to be on day 7. Okay, question number 11. Julian wants to save $10 per day for 8 days. He then plans on spending on it for the next 8 days. The graph below shows the money, and the question is, which of the following functions can be used to represent the situation? Excuse me. Okay, so then looking at this right here, the amount of money he has is going to be between day 0 to day 16. So it has to be between 0 and 16. Well, it's not going to be this one or this one because the word here is X. X means time. 80 is indicating $80, so that's not correct. Okay, so it can't be B or C. So we're just going to cross that out. And then if I look at this part right here, well, which one could it be? X is the number of days, plus 8 times 10 minus 10, A. Okay, so let's go on to topic number 6. For topic number 6, you should write that right over here in this corner, which is on absolute value functions. So if I take a look at this question here, how would I go about solving for this? Actually, you know what? I think I already did this one, so I'm going to skip it over to this one. Just kidding. So go over to topic number 7. Sorry. So topic number 7 is right here. It is on transformations, and it says, this one says model this equation. And so as I look at this equation here, we're going to separate it. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the last piece right here, which is negative 2x. So what that means is that I'm going to have a slope of negative 2 over 1, and I start at 0. So I start at 0, I go down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, and here is my equation. The negative 2 means you go down, the 1 means you go over to the right. So just looking at this question here, which one looks like it matches this one equation from A, B, C, D? So far it looks like B, but if you're not 100% sure, that's okay, because we're going to go ahead and graph the other piece, which is going to be this equation right here. Well, it's an absolute value, so you know it's going to shape like a V, but because there's a negative 3 in front of it and the A is negative, it's going to be a negative V, okay? 4 means you go 4 up, 2 means you go 2 to the left. So let's go and graph that. So 4 up to 4, 1, 2 to the left, and it's a 3, so it's going to be a skinnier V shape like that. So does that kind of look like V? Yes, it does. Okay, so number 9, we're also going to be solving this one. So which equation matches this absolute value? We're going to go ahead and divide it by negative 3 on both sides first. So that cancels, and I have x plus 4 is equal to 2. I'm going to go ahead and separate them. So x plus 4 equals 2. X plus 4 equals negative 2. Opposite of a positive 4 is a negative 4. So then from here, I'm going to have x is equal to negative 2 is my first answer. And then x equals negative 6 is my second answer. And those are my 2 responses. And so is it A, B, C, or D? All right, let's take a look at number 42. For number 42, you're still again on topic 7. So if you're not sure which box we're in, let me make sure that I put that there so that way you know. Okay, there we go. Okay, so looking at this, the vertex is always going to be negative b over 2a for the x value. And so looking at this, I know my b is an 8, my a is a negative 2. So negative 8 over 2 times negative 2 is a negative 8 over negative 4, which is just a 4. Okay, so that's my first answer for H. Well, it looks like it's going to be B, but let's just make sure. For my y value, I'm going to do f of x. X is 4, which is going to be negative 2 times 4 squared plus 8 times 4 minus 9. So wherever there is an x value, you're going to put a 4 in here. So 4 times 4 is a 16. 16 times a negative 2 is a negative 32. 8 times 4 is 32 plus 9. And you guys know that negative and positive 32 cancels, which is just going to give me a minus 9. I don't know why I put a plus there. So my answer is negative 9. And does that negative 9 for the y? Yes, it is. So you know your answer is going to be B. Okay, so a question like number 43 versus what is a vertex? The vertex is the h and the k value, or you could think about the x and the y value. So looking at this part right here, you have f of x is equal to, and this is the formula, negative a x minus h squared plus k. So we want to align the h together and the k's together. And the k is just going to equal to a 2. My negative h is equal to a negative 5. So my positive h is going to be equal to a positive 5. So 5 comma 2 is my answer. All right, you guys, as always, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.